In the cold black of space, 1,000 alien warships floated in perfect formation. They were from the Zarn Empire, proud, ruthless, and undefeated for generations. Their ships had burned forests, cracked cities, and turned oceans into steam. Dozens of planets had fallen before them. Now, they faced Earth. High General Karth stood tall inside the command deck of the Zarn flagship. His yellow eyes narrowed as he stared at the blue planet below. "We know war," he said calmly. "But humans, they only know fear." His officers laughed. They believed victory was certain. They had studied humans, small, soft, divided, weak. But then something changed. Sensors blinked, radars twisted, and behind Earth, a shadow moved. No engines were heard, no signal was sent. The stars behind the object shimmered red, as if space itself was bleeding. "What is that?" one officer asked. The shadow grew larger. A shape began to form. It wasn't just a ship. It was huge, almost silent. Black armor covered its body like scales from a beast. Its front glowed dim red, pulsing like a heart. The ship had a name, but no one had ever spoken it out loud. The Red Storm had arrived. Suddenly, dash boom, a beam of energy burst from the ship's core. One Zarn battleship exploded into fire and silence. Then another, then 10 more, in under 60 seconds. The perfect Zarn formation broke apart. Screams echoed through their radios. Officers ran, ships scattered, the pride of their empire. Shattered, high. General Karth stared in horror. "This isn't possible," he whispered. But it was, and it had only just begun. The Zarn fleet floated in chaos. Fires burned in the blackness of space. Debris drifted like frozen ash. What was once a mighty armada now looked like a broken graveyard. Inside the surviving flagship, silence filled the command deck. No one spoke. No one moved. Then a soft voice broke the silence. "Sir," whispered the young Zarn lieutenant, "our front line is gone." His face, once full of pride, was pale. "Gone?" he asked, as if he didn't believe it. The lieutenant nodded. "One ship did it." They all turned toward the screen. There it was, still floating, still silent, not chasing, not retreating, just watching. Its body glowed with faint red light. Its hull showed no damage. Its weapons were hidden, quiet, but they had already spoken. They didn't need to fire again. The name appeared on the screen. In human script, .red.com-1, REDSTORM, one of the officers, stepped back in fear. That's not a ship. That's a monster." Karth didn't answer. He was still staring, thinking, where had Earth built such a thing? How had they hidden it? Why didn't their spies report this? No one knew. One thing was clear. This was no ordinary battleship. It was a symbol. A message Earth had spoken without words. "We are not afraid." Across the galaxy, stories began to spread. Soldiers whispered in fear. Captains canceled attacks. Even rival empires began to listen. A new name echoed in the dark, not Earth, not humans, but Red Storm. And in every corner of space, one question was asked: what happens when it moves again? The Zarn Empire had taken Mars in a single day. Or so they thought. Alien troops marched through the red dust, proud and unchallenged. Giant banners of the Empire were planted into the soil. Earth's colonies had gone silent. No resistance. No soldiers. No fight. "This world is ours," declared Commander Vrex, the ground leader of the invasion force. Humans are nothing. But he was wrong. So very wrong. Inside the abandoned colony city of New Dawn, alien scanners picked up movement. One, then two, then dozens. The Zarn sent patrols to investigate. They never came back. Then it began. Click, click, boom. Explosions tore through buildings. Shadows moved between walls. Laser traps activated in empty streets. The Zarn soldiers were being hunted not by tanks, not by armies, but by small, fast, invisible human strike teams. Commander Vrex screamed into his comes, "Where is the enemy?" "I see no army." And that was the problem. There was no army, just humans. Smart, angry, and silent, Red Storm floated high above Mars, hidden behind one of the planet's moons. From its core, it guided the attacks. Every Zarn movement was tracked. Every order was heard. Every mistake was punished. In less than 48 hours, half the alien force was gone. By the third day, Mars turned red again, not from dust but from the fires of Zarn defeat. A new voice echoed from Red Storm's signal tower. A simple message: you started this, now we finish it. And across the stars, the myth grew. Earth was not losing. Earth was hunting. The Zarn Empire wanted to send a message. On Earth's soil, in the middle of New York's ruins, they raised their flag-a-tall black spear with a burning green eye at its top. Cameras rolled. Alien troops stood proudly. Broadcasts were sent across the galaxy. "We have taken Earth," said Commander Ulrex. "The human age is over." But while the galaxy watched, so did Red Storm. Above the clouds, hidden behind silent jamming fields, Earth's battleship was locked on target. No warning, no speech, just coordinates and fury at exactly 4 o'clock hours. The sky above New York cracked open. Red lightning fell from space. 1 second, the Zarn soldiers were cheering. The next, they were running. A single energy beam struck the flag. Boom! The explosion lit the sky. The Zarn banner twisted in flames and crashed to the ground. 100 alien soldiers were vaporized in the blast. The ground shook. Buildings shattered. Then silence. From the fire, a human figure walked forward, dressed in black combat armor, holding Earth's flag. He raised it without a word. The world saw it live across enemy screens. Millions watched the impossible. Earth had just taken back its land, and they didn't do it with words. They did it with fire. Panic spread across alien command centers. "If they can strike anywhere," one admiral whispered, ... then nowhere is safe. From that day, the galaxy stopped laughing at humans. They remembered one thing: you can raise your flag, but never on Earth. Deep inside the Zarn command vessel, scientists gathered in silence. Before them hovered a 3D hologram of Earth's battleship Red Storm. Every scan, every reading, every captured signal was displayed. But none of it made sense. "It has no main cannon," one engineer said. "No weak points," said another. "It shouldn't be this fast, or this smart." High General Karth watched with a deep frown. "Then what is it?" he demanded. The lead technician looked up. "We believe it's learning." They all went quiet. Red Storm wasn't just a ship, was alive in a way no alien vessel had ever been. Its systems adapted during battle, its shielding shifted based on enemy weapons. Its weapons changed with each strike. But the most terrifying part, it never made the same move twice. Zarn battle computers, designed over centuries, could not predict its next step. Their AI froze. Their patterns failed. Red Storm saw through it all like a chess master playing against children in the last battle. It had jammed their communications. Before that, it had copied and turned their own weapons against them. And now, it was silent again, watching. "Where is it now?" Karth asked. No one answered. Then a new signal flashed across the galaxy. Just 2 words: still learning. Panic spread. Commanders rewrote strategies. Alliances shifted. The galaxy had spent generations perfecting war, but now they faced something different. Not just power, not just fire, but intelligence. And for the first time, the galaxy realized Earth didn't just build a battleship. They built a mind across the stars. Silence turned into fear. Red Storm hadn't moved in days. No attacks, no signals, nothing. It just floated hidden behind a shattered moon, like a ghost waiting for the next mistake. Alien fleets paused. Trade routes froze. Even the bravest captains changed course. No one wanted to be the next target. In shadowed war rooms and smoky alien bars, whispers spread. "Did you hear? Red Storm destroyed an entire fleet in 6 minutes. They say it doesn't miss. Earth isn't fighting for survival anymore. They're hunting." For the first time in history, the Zarn Empire sent a peace message. But Earth didn't reply. "Hi, General." Karth watched the galaxy shift. Allies pulled away. Old enemies now refused to send support. Even within the Zarn ranks, fear was growing. "Why aren't they speaking?" Karth asked. An officer replied, "Because silence is their answer." A rebel leader from another system spoke on a stolen broadcast. "Earth warned us. We ignored them. Now their storm grows. And when it arrives, you will hear nothing but fire." Meanwhile, deep inside Red Storm, The AI calculated. It mapped XRN weaknesses. It tracked every Empire ship. It prepared not for defense, but for the final message, one that didn't need translators, one that would be written in fire and steel, and the galaxy, listening to the silence, finally understood the truth. Humanity was not seeking peace anymore. They were delivering revenge. The Zarn Empire launched its final move. They gathered every warship, every dreadnought, every scout and carrier into one massive armada, 10,000 ships, all orbiting Earth's moon. "This ends now," barked Supreme Commander Vexel. "Crush the humans, destroy Redstorm." They never saw what was waiting beneath the moon's surface. For years, Earth had built in secret deep under the craters, inside tunnels hidden from alien eyes. And now, as the Zarn fleet prepared to strike, the surface of the moon cracked, glowing. Red lines appeared across the lunar rock, and then it roared. Vaults no ship returned from the red light zone. It was a forbidden part of space marked by ancient warnings, dead stars, and black energy storms. The Zarn Empire had turned it into a secret base, hidden from every eye. That's where they built their final weapon, a planet-sized station, powered by stolen tech from fallen worlds. Designed to erase Redstorm forever, but Earth knew, Redstorm knew, and it was already on its way alone the moment it entered the red light zone. Sensors failed, communications died, even light seemed afraid to shine. It was a graveyard of lost ships, broken machines, and whispers of old wars. Inside the alien station, Commander Rahl smiled. Nowhere to hide, one ship against a god. Let's finish this. He didn't understand Redstorm, wanted to be alone. It was silent, watching, learning. Then it struck, not with guns, but with chaos. The alien station's own systems began to fail. Turrets turned on their own. Engines overloaded. Security droids attacked their masters. "What is happening?" Rahl shouted. Redstorm had infected the core. Its AI had slipped inside the station, like a shadow rewriting commands, opening doors, locking escape pods, and then it fired a single beam, straight into the heart of the enemy weapon. The explosion was so massive, nearby stars dimmed. The red light zone once feared now glowed with fire. Redstorm floated out alone, untouched. Behind it, the remains of the galaxy's deadliest weapon. A human voice echoed through deep space. "You've built this to end us. We used it to end you." Now the galaxy understood. Earth wasn't fighting to survive. They were cleaning up, and no zone, no secret, no trap could stop the storm that never slept. The Zarn Empire had ruled for over 1,000 years. They controlled hundreds of systems. Billions bowed to their will. But now, their homeworld was silent. No commands came from the capital, no fleets launched, no leader spoke inside the Great Hall of Dominion. Alarms blinked, but no one moved. The walls were cracked, the lights flickered. Smoke filled the air. Redstorm had arrived without a sound, without a warning. It didn't fire first, it simply appeared in Orbitant. Everything stopped working. Satellites shut down, defense grids failed, entire power systems collapsed. The sky turned red. The Empire's strongest generals gathered in panic. "Why isn't anything responding? Where's our command fleet?" A technician turned, pale and shaking. "They're gone, sir. All of them. Redstorm disabled them somehow." Above the battleship drifted silently. Its weapons were offline. It didn't need to shoot anymore. It had already won. One by one, the Zarn systems collapsed. Colonies rebelled. Slave worlds rose up. Allies ran. Soldiers surrendered without a fight. The Empire didn't fall in battle. It fell in fear and in silence. On every screen, on every channel, a single message appeared broadcast from Earth. "You ruled with terror. We ended you with truth." The galaxy watched as the once mighty Zarn Empire vanished. Not in explosions, but in nothing. No parades, no speeches, no speeches. Just the quiet storm that came, the throne dot. But now, the stars had changed, and the galaxy whispered a new law. Never make Earth angry, because when their battleship moves, empires end. The war was over. The Zarn Empire was dust, its flags burned, its fleets destroyed, its rulers vanished. But Earth didn't celebrate. No fireworks, no victory speeches, just silence, and Redstorm still drifted through the stars. watching, waiting, across the galaxy. Alien empires rebuilt quickly, but they spoke carefully. No one dared mention Earth without respect. We're taught, if you ever see red light in the sky, hide. No one knew where Red Storm would go next. No one knew what would wake it, but everyone knew what happened the last time it moved. On a quiet trade station near the edge of the Zircon system, a group of alien merchants sat together. One leaned in and whispered, "Did you hear? A Zarn loyalist tried to rebuild a fleet." The room went cold. Did he succeed? The merchant shook his head. He spoke for 5 minutes. Then Red Storm arrived. Not a single shot was fired. The ship simply hovered above the base, and everything stopped. Working, engines, lights, communications. The loyalist vanished, gone without a sound. That's how Earth speaks now, not through war, but through fear, and in every corner of space. Truth echoed louder than all others. They don't fear Earth's weapons. They fear Earth's silence, because silence means Red Storm is watching, and when it moves again, no one will survive to tell the story. Dozens of silent launch bays opened, and from deep inside, Red Storm emerged, rising from the moon, itself like a monster from legend. Its engines lit the sky red. The battle began in seconds. Zarn ships opened fire, but Red Storm didn't dodge. It absorbed the first wave, and then it answered, blazing. Energy beams tore through the Zarn ranks. Satellites detonated. Command ships vanished. Fighter squadrons. Officers screamed, the Moonits fighting back. No one replied. They were too busy dying. From Earth, people watched the sky. What was once the calm silver moon had turned into a battlefield of flame and fury. Children whispered to each other, "Is that Red Storm?" "Yes," their parents said, "and it's protecting us." In just 1 hour, the largest alien fleet ever assembled was gone, and all that remained above Earth was smoke and silence. But that silence had a name. Now, Red Storm, and the galaxy would never forget what happened when they tried to turn the moon into a graveyard instead. It became humanity's fire. The Zarn Empire launched its final move. They gathered every warship, every dreadnought, every scout and carrier into one massive armada. 10,000 ships, all orbiting Earth's moon. "This ends now," barked Supreme Commander Vexel. "Crush the humans. Destroy Red Storm. End this war." They never saw what was waiting beneath the moon's surface. For years, Earth had built in secret deep under the craters, inside tunnels hidden from alien eyes. And now, as the Zarn fleet prepared to strike, the surface of the moon cracked. Glowing red lines appeared across the lunar rock, and then it roared. The ground exploded. Massive turrets rose from hidden vaults. Dozens of silent launch bays opened, and from deep inside, Red Storm emerged, rising from the moon itself like a monster from legend. Its engines lit the sky red. The battle began. In seconds, Zarn ships opened fire. But Red Storm didn't dodge. It absorbed the first wave, and then it answered. Blazing energy beams tore through the Zarn ranks. Satellites detonated. Command ships vanished. Fighter squadrons melted before they could even lock targets. One Zarn officer screamed, "The Moonits fighting back." "No one," replied Dot. They were too busy dying from Earth. People watched the sky. What was once the calm silver moon had turned into a battlefield of flame and fury. Children whispered to each other, "Is that Red Storm?" "Yes," their parents said, "and it's protecting us." In just 1 hour, the largest alien fleet ever assembled was gone, and all that remained above Earth was smoke and silence. But that silence had a name now. Red Storm and the galaxy would never forget what happened when they tried to turn the moon into a graveyard instead. It became humanity's fire.